Hey friends, it's Ruben with HIFIMIDI. As promised, I'm going to start a series of tutorials on how to program bass and guitar using Apple Sound's Riffer feature. I don't know where this is going to take me because I don't know what kind of things you're looking for, but I hope to keep an open dialogue with you in the coming months. That way I can focus on what the majority of you need help with. If I don't know how to do it, I'll figure it out. So, a while back, I posted a video of some famous bass grooves I programmed with Apple Bass Riffer. I want to show you how I made them. In this video, I'm going to show you my steps, the features and limitations of the software, and hopefully I can inspire you to create your own riffs. Before we begin the tutorial, here's the groove from Chic's Good Times, with first with a drum track, and then without the drum track. So here it goes. And here it is without drums. Now, this is a seemingly simple groove, but to get the most out of it, it's going to take some diving into Riffer and using many of its features, so patience is the key. So, a little bit about Riffer. Riffer is a relatively new addition to Apple Sound's instrument plugins. I don't know if this was their intention, but Riffer helps with three major areas in programming. One, it reduces the number of steps it takes to create realistic bass or guitar riffs by automatically inputting MIDI commands for you depending on how you program it. Two, it allows you to become more expressive by giving you more control over the instrument's sounds, which creates more realism. And three, it allows you to work in the same environment regardless of which DAW you're using. For instance, I can program in Riffer while using Logic Pro, save the riff, then open it in Pro Tools, and it works. Let's talk about the interface. In Riffer, we have our string lanes. Because this is a 4-string bass, we have our E string, A, D, and G. I know that says D, but I had to tune it down for this riff because of one of the slides. It has to be able to travel downward. So to do that, you click on this tuning peg. Is that even what they're called? And then just drag down all the way to D. Here we have our time division markers, which are set to 16th notes. Then we have our bar lines, our measures. In this box, you can actually select how many measures you want the riff to be. For this groove, it's going to be 4 measures long. On the bottom right corner, we have our transposition key. So we're not going to mess with this. Then we have our BPM setting, our quantize. So this sets the length of the notes. We're doing 16th notes. And our time signature. You have all these choices right here. You can pause the video and look at it. I'm only going to talk about the features we're going to use. So we're going to use sync. You don't have to use it. This is to sync the BPM in the software to the BPM in your DAW, which is 117. If I deselect that, I can change the tempo right here. And it'll play accordingly. Once I press sync, it's going to change back to 117. Right here we have our metronome. All right, so let's start. Now, you don't have to work like this. If you have the rhythm in your head already, you can start inputting notes. But what I like to do is to record a rhythmic reference so that it will be easier to input the notes. So I'll know where to put them. So I'll select my track. And I'm going to record it now. I'm just going to record the rhythm on any note. It doesn't matter. So now I'll go to my piano roll. I'll select all the notes and quantize them to 16 note grid. Let me play that back. That's good. Now I want to align these notes to this grid right here, at least in my mind. But you can do that right here. In the piano roll. So the first thing I'm going to do is when you click on a string on a certain beat, it's going to automatically input the note on there. So we have on beat 1, 1, then 2, 3. I'll stop right there because right now it's giving me D1 as the default. If I drag it up, if I click and drag up, it's going to change the note. Another way you can change the pitch is by selecting the note, going to the pitch menu, and changing it there. This is good for when you have big jumps. Dragging it is good for small steps or skips. So E, 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 and then we have the last 16th note. Oh, I should mention that when you input a new note, it's going to just repeat the last one, so that can come in handy sometimes. E, 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 E. Oops, that's the wrong place. We want this note right here. Bum, bum. But we're just inputting rhythm right now. Dum, bum, 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 ba-dum. Skip 1. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. And then this last 16th note right here. Let's listen to that. Good. Now we're on measure 3. Measure 3 only has 4 notes. Starting on the second beat, third beat, and the last 2 16th notes. Measure 4. We skip a 16th note, so right here. The and of 1, 2, and of 2, 3, the of 3, which is the last 16th note. Then we have 4, E, and 4, E, and. This should be the rhythm of the groove. And we are done. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm just kidding. No, you can listen to it with the metronome. Just to be double sure that this is the groove you want. Now let's start inputting notes. Now the first notes of this groove are E, 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 F. Right here is where we start changing. On the and of 1, measure 2, F sharp, dum da dum dum. And then we go up to A. Now, instead of dragging this all the way up to A, we actually go to the A string. Bum ba dum bum bum bum. I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, to drag this up, you're gonna click Shift on your keyboard, and then click and drag up. Bum ba dum bum bum bum. You want C? C sharp actually, because this is a Dorian scale. Dun 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 dum bum bum bum. Next is D, so we can go all the way to the D string. And then we go to E. Shift, drag. Da-dum. Let's listen to that. So those two notes on measure 3 are supposed to be A. So we'll click, shift, and drag. Click, shift, and drag to A. This is going to be A. This is going to be D, I believe. Da-dum. A. Da-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Dum, bum. F sharp, so I think this is on the next string. Da-dum. Let's hear this. Da-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum. We're going to shift and drag this all the way to bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Drag this all the way to F sharp. Bum, ba-dun, dun, dun. This is supposed to be A. A. Doo-doo. This is supposed to be B. Da-dum-dum. E. And then G. So these are our notes in rhythm so far. That sounds good. Let's hear it with a metronome. Awesome. Now, so you could just leave it at that. But you would have wasted all this time just inputting notes into Riffer when you could have done that in your DAW. But where Riffer really comes to life, or makes the instrument really come to life, is when you start adding different articulations, dynamics, effects, all those good things. So this particular groove gets its fill with either muted notes or staccato because it has a very funky disco groove. All right, so what we're going to do first is these first notes, even though they're already short, they don't sound like real staccato, so we're going to click them. And unfortunately, you can't, not at least I don't know about it, you can't select multiple notes at the same time. I wish you could. But you click the note, go to note articulation, and select staccato. Now you see this little icon pop up that's saying that's staccato. We're going to select this one, do the same thing, and you'll see a line appear over, meaning that all the notes under this are staccato. Now, in order to unselect a note, all you do is click outside of it once. And the notes are shorter. Now, between this third and fourth E, we have a slide. Oops. Which we're going to find in the effects menu. I think it's slide 3. So I click that. Select over here, effects slide 3. We're going to drag that. Let's listen to it. As easy as that. All right, now we're going to go. This note right here is not going to be staccato. It's actually going to be a little longer, so we want it set to sustain, which is the default. However, the notes after are going to be staccato. Boom. This is where I mentioned that this takes a lot of patience. Hopefully in a future update, you'll be able to select multiple notes and give them the articulation you want. I would be very happy to be corrected in this situation. It's still a great program though. And this one is staccato as well. Oops. Now between this note and this note, we have another little effect. The accentuation. These little details are what makes it sound really groovy and funky and adds to the realism. So let's listen to it, how it is so far. Now this A right here is actually long and it slides out. That did not sound right. This A, we're gonna have a slide out. Let's see if it's set to the right timing. Nope. Let's do quarter slide out. Oh, I see the problem. Because we're starting with an open A, there's no place to slide down to. So what we have to do in this case, in this instance, is drag it down to the E string. Now let's listen to that. That sounds a lot better. Now this note right here is staccato as well. Pretty much any 16th note that is right next to another 16th note is going to be staccato. However, this one right here is going to be sustained and it's going to drag out. This one is staccato. Staccato. Can't say the word. Staccato. Dum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum bum bum. Pardon my pitchiness. Let's start right here. Listen to it. Dun 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 ba da da dum. We're almost done with this. This note right here is actually not supposed to be staccato, so we'll make it sustain, elongate it, and slide out. Now remember I said that this can't slide down because it's on the A string. It's on the open A string, so we're gonna have to slide it down right here. This is staccato. 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 Actually, I think this is hammered on, so let me change this. There you go. This one is also, well, this one we have to make it an eighth note, and that's also going to be hammered. So now we have rhythm, notes, and articulation, and we need dynamics in order to make this, in order to seal the deal and make this realistic, more realistic. So I want my first three notes to be strong, but a little bit different. So the way that we do that is by holding the control button. If you have Mac, I don't know what it is for PC, but the manual should tell you that. So you drag it down. I'm just going to drag it down slightly. I want this one to be a little softer. And then a little softer but louder than the one before. Now, I'm dragging it down and it's doing it by certain increments, but you can click the velocity and do whatever number you want, 65. Dum-ba-dum. Because not every hit's going to be exactly the same. Oops. This is a little loud. Be quieter. Now, I don't like the fact that these sound so different from one another in tone. So I'm going to drag this one down. Oops. Shift. And this one as well. There you go. Now this is all preference. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I said, at least the dynamic part. I mean, you don't have to listen to anything I say, really. Why are you even watching this channel? Bum, bum. I want this pickup note to be quieter. Even quieter than that. It's not as significant. I can do without it, but actually, let's even make that a muted. Let's see what that sounds like. No, staccato's better. These are too similar. Now these A's, I need them on the same string. Bum. And this B. Actually, you know what? Let's drag it back up there. I thought it was a slide out, but it's not. Actually, it is. What is going on here? Now this says, I made this a slide out, but it doesn't make sense for it to be a slide out. But we'll leave it at that. So after that, make sure that you save this. So we're gonna click the save riff button. I have it set to good times. I'll write it as good times 2. Or maybe a good times 1. Author, key, all this information. It's going to save it. Click on the check mark, and then it's saved. Now, if you want this in your DAW, all you have to do is click on these little arrows right here, and then drag it to your host, and voila. Friends, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And leave your comments below. Tell me what you'd like to hear. Thanks for watching.